Good afternoon, ma'am, and welcome to Education Post COVID-19 with Mausam Arora. How are you, ma'am?
Good afternoon, Mausam. I'm fine. I'm doing good. Nice to connect with you all.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure. Same here. Ma'am, before we go on with the interview, please give a short introduction about yourself.
Voice is breaking.
Ma'am, please give a... Yes.
I am Preeti Sinha. I'm working in Gulmohar High School from the last 12 years. I joined in 2008 as the primary head, and since the last 1.5, I'm working as the principal of the school. I was promoted as the principal of the school. Before my stint with school, I was actually a computer professional. I was in the corporate world, and I worked in Delhi and a lot of places, other places like Delhi and Allahabad and Guwahati. So I was basically a computer faculty in an IIT. I started my career with that, and then I shifted to school teaching, and now I'm pretty with my school now.
This is really interesting. How did this shift happen from computer professional to, school education?
Actually, I was already into education. I was teaching only. I was a faculty, but in a corporate world. The setup was only different, and my husband had a transferable job. So I thought that the best thing to do is to connect with schools. And when my daughter was born, I felt I enjoyed teaching from the very beginning. So it was not a major shift for me as such. But yes, the administration part was a bit totally different, and I am pretty enjoying my job now.
Okay, great, ma'am. So, how are you continuing education during this lockdown period, because it's getting extended all the time?
Yeah, see, basically the moment, we were supposed to reopen on 16th of March. Okay. So the moment it was declared that, the COVID crisis had just started at that time and schools were closing down, thought that let's try to continue. Okay, so we just took a quick meeting with the faculty on 17th and 18th of March, and we thought that at least start preparing e-material, e-content for the children and start posting them. So that was the beginning of the entire process. So we started early on by 18th of March, we started our first level of e-content being to the children, and we started a planning process also, where we did not want to just post the content to the parents. So we started, checking and all that mechanism. The background work also started working with simple WhatsApp and Google Docs using our school management software. So we connected with the parents with the school management software, all the connection and how to send the work was linked to the school management software. And the work was uploaded on Google Docs so that there was one single link and people can get the work of previous days also. The entire idea was that the work should not get cluttered if we just send through the normal school management software or what.
Right.
So that was one of
being from software background helped in this case.
Definitely, it really helped, and it was a boon in a way that I had that idea, so I could really quickly adapt to the crisis, and I could quickly. Then we kept on working on it, So we started Google Docs, then we went to. Now after 10-15 days we realized that we need to check, are they really understanding what we are doing. So we thought, let's take a feedback. So we had a feedback on Google Forms. So the parents were pretty happy with the entire process. Then we went to the next step. We went to online teaching using video conferencing software. Again, we wanted to check things are happening properly or not. So after a month of teaching, we started taking tests. So we went for online tests using Google Forms. So, we went one step at a time. It was not that we started everything together. We had to train our staff, which was very important because it was totally a new video conferencing tool. It was new to me also. So me and my IT team, we got together and we trained our teachers. And then we went ahead with the online classrooms instead of just going ahead with that. And beside this, we wanted to, balance academics with book curricular. So weekend, we started having some zing for the children. We had a lot of nice activities for them. Simple things like, each and every child can do right from the LKG to standard 12. Things like writing letters to God in this COVID crisis. We wanted to write request or just saluting our heroes. Or recently, we are going for random kindness where they go and really do some kind of community service at their level. So that kind of activities we are floating in.
Okay, Great. So it sounds pretty interesting to me. So how do you think can the learning be made even better? You are already doing a lot of things to check whether the learning is happening or not. So how do you think? Because future is going to be of blended learning, both online and offline. So how
Yeah.
can this be made better? Yes.
Basically, what I have realized when we have started these online classes, there are problem areas also. So the first thing which I would like to put in place, I've already started putting some bits in place with my parents and students, is developing a proper code of conduct of online teaching for the parents, teachers, and students, because they need. This is a new platform. People may not know how to work, So that is the first step I believe is required to have a proper code of conduct you know Beside
Right.
this, training will be another essential factor, because right now we have just started. It was a crisis management, so we have just started, but with time you need to develop it. So maybe you will have a proper learning management software in place in each and every school, and that there you collaborate with all your students, teachers, parents, and work in a more structured manner. Right now we have just free tools, but in the long run, we will not be able to use free tools. So we will have to go for proper learning management software, I believe. So these are two crucial things I think is required when we go for blended learning. And the third thing I feel is that children will have to learn to adapt to change. So that will need a lot of counseling, children and parents. And since a
Hmm.
lot of learning happen at school, parental monitoring at home will become very, very crucial, according to me. Because though I am from a technological background, but I am not very, very pro about using a lot of technology and exposing students to a lot of technology, because we know the pros and cons of technology. So we
Right.
believe that a lot of training of counseling of parents, students is required, and monitoring at home will be very, very crucial. Children cannot be just left alone with gadgets,
Right.
and we know the
So
side effects.
parent role will become bigger in the education in coming times. Right.
One thing I feel is good one is like children are developing study habits. They were very, very dependent on the teacher and tuitions, which has stopped right now. So I believe this will be a welcome change. Children will know how to study on their own. I'm just
Right.
assuming that things will go. Yeah,
So that is one
we
of the
have to.
positive outcomes. Like children are becoming self-learners. They are becoming a little more responsible because because
Possible.
till now everybody, somebody was on their heads all the time that please do this, please do that. Now they have to do it themselves. Right. So,
Yes.
ma'am, you being from software industry and you know about this industry already very well. So, what do you think about the upcoming technologies like IoT, AI, and robotics? What role do you see in school education of these technologies?
Frankly speaking, I'm still having that old school of thought that being in natural surrounding is the best way to learn. If you ask me, I would like to introduce Gurukul system of education. I am not very pro for a lot of artificial intelligence and Alexa and okay, other whatever it is like Siri and all. People should connect with real people, according, especially children.
Right.
Technology is fine, but and the other aspect which I feel is we have not researched enough to check that how there's so many sensors around us, so much of Wi-Fi around us, rays around us, how it is going to affect our physical and mental health. So I
Right.
am not very positive of too much of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things to children.
Right. So there are two parts to it. One is using IoT and AI to teach children, and second is helping them learn about these technologies. So you answered the first
Right.
part to me. What about the second part? Like, should they be taught about or should they be introduced to these technologies?
See, being from this background, I learned computer after my graduation. Okay,
Right.
so technology every day, and you can introduce new things any day. So I don't think so. It's at such an early age, we need to introduce
Okay.
these kind of technologies to the children. That is I believe I'm
Okay.
still in the old school of thought.
Okay. No problem, ma'am. Ma'am, last question before I end the interview. If you get one day to open the school during this lockdown period, what will you do?
I will not introduce anyone in my campus before all the system operating procedures are in place, because I cannot risk the health of my staff or my teachers or students. So the basic procedures are in place. Then only I will allow anyone to enter the campus. That's my take. I cannot just allow anyone to enter.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your insights. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. Same here. Nice meeting you. And
Same here,
namaste.
ma'am. Namaskar, ma'am.